Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us on your Monday. I'm Sophie Erber. Woodbury County looking for at least 4 candidates to join 2 boards left open by a new Iowa state law. KCAU 9's Jessica Watson explaining the regulations and the need now to fill these empty seats. And our top story for you at 5.
Katie Cullen was on her second year of her second term on the Whitberry Board of Adjustments when she received an email that she has to step down. She says it came as a surprise and she wasn't alone.
There was a person on the Planning and Zoning, and then Dwight Roram was on the Board of Adjustment with me. And so we both got the same message at the same time.
It was a decision out of the county's control. When HF 2512 passed in June, members of the Board of Adjustments and the Planning and Zoning Commission not living in rural Woodbury were forced to step down.
I think it was a good combination when there was both rural and city representation on the Board of Adjustment. You could ask questions coming from a different perspective that maybe opened up new solutions. It never really was to close doors. It was always to find the right solution.
Now, if you would like to join the Whitberry County Board of Adjustment or Planning and Zoning Committee, you must live outside of city limits of any Woodbury County city.
Luckily, it's a 5-member board. Each board and commission is made up of 5 members, and so we still have 3 members on each body, and so we still have enough people to meet quorum and conduct official county business. But really what we're trying to do is market, get out in the community, and let people know that we have these openings.
David Gleiser is the Director of Community and Economic Development. He says anyone at least 18 years old who meets the residency requirements can apply.
It is challenging. It can be challenging, and it can be somewhat quite monotonous at times, but really it's fun. It's fun work, and I really suggest if you have any interest at all, you should make an application.
The Director of Community and Economic Growth says if you're interested in joining either board, you can call the Woodbury Economic Department or visit our website. That is SiouxlandProud.com. Jessica Watson, KCAU 9 News.
All right, thanks, Jessica. With an influx of temporary workers brought in by the CF Industries and other construction projects, housing prices in Sioux City spiked over the last decade, and now finding affordable housing remains an issue because of it. Sioux City Mayor Pro Tem Dan Moore tonight says that council members are working with developers to lower the cost of rent, but it's not an overnight process.
We need to build housing and have housing that's affordable for our citizens, for our workers, for the employees. The price keeps going higher and higher and higher. So the city has been looking at and studying what can we do to keep the prices either at where they are or even lower.
Coming up tonight at 6, KCAU 9 News reporter Lydia Vasquez explains how Sioux City City Council members are working now to address this ongoing issue. Authorities tonight have revised the cause of death of a Sioux City man from homicide to undetermined. 66-year-old Dave Davenport of Sioux City died on October 25th, 2019, after he was found unconscious the day before inside a residence he owned. On October 27th, 2019, a fire was reported at Davenport's primary home. Authorities learned of his recent death and were told by medical staff that Davenport suffered severe head trauma. Investigation there revealed that there was no evidence that the fire was intentionally set. The revised cause of death now comes as state medical examiners and investigators are currently reviewing this case. A terrifying incident for one Siouxland Lyft driver held at gunpoint by 2 passengers, taking his wallet and phone and then running off into the night. Just before 3 this morning, an area Lyft driver drove a man from Sioux Falls to Sioux City. When they arrived, they picked up another passenger near 14th and Pierce Street. The 2 passengers then began to assault the Lyft driver at gunpoint. The suspects demanding money from the driver, stealing his wallet and his phone. The 2 suspects then asked the driver to drive a short distance before they both exited the vehicle and ran off. The Lyft driver did suffer injuries to his face and head. The names of those involved are not yet being released at this time. And many people have safety concerns about using rideshare services like Uber or Lyft, but as this morning's robbery highlights, drivers are also at risk. The story of how one Lyft driver stays safer on the road, it's on our website right now. That's SiouxlandProud.com, where you can check out the free KCAU 9 News app. And it's time tonight for our first check on the weather. Meteorologist Marcus Beasley standing by. Marcus, a beautiful day. We warmed up.
That's right. Temperatures warming up into the 80s throughout much of Siouxland with a lot of sunshine here throughout the region. Our high temperatures today in Sioux City getting up to 81, as well as Cherokee, Storm Lake, Carroll, and Denison. A high recorded of 85 in Wayne, recorded high temperature of 87 in Yankton, so a little bit warmer in parts of western Siouxland. It does look like we are going to see some warm days continue here in the coming days. Overnight tonight, we are going to see a low temperature in the upper 50s, right around 57 in Sioux City, 58 in Lamar's, Orange City, and Cherokee tonight, 56 in Wayne, and 60 degrees tonight in Yankton. So a comfortable night ahead. It does look like we are going to see maybe a little bit of rain here later this week. Those details in the 9 on 9. Sophie?
All right, thanks a lot, Marcus. And now for a quick check on today's COVID-19 numbers updated across Siouxland. Woodbury County health officials reporting 1 new death from the virus and 32 new cases. In Sloan, Westwood Community Schools reporting 7 positive cases across the district. And across the river, Dakota County health officials report 14 new positive tests. The county has seen more than 2,000 cases since the beginning of the pandemic. And in South Dakota, Union County reports 57 active cases. Clay County reports 82 active cases. Both counties tonight listed as having, quote, substantial community spread. If you'd like the latest COVID-19 numbers, check out our website for your area. That's SiouxlandProud.com. Northbound traffic on Highway 75 south of Hinton is still blocked after a serious crash. Officials say that accident happened around 10:30 this morning when a pickup truck pulling a dump trailer full of concrete crossed into oncoming traffic, colliding with a semi-tractor trailer also loaded with concrete mix. Officials say both drivers were taken to the hospital. The semi-driver sustained minor injuries. The extent of those injuries of the pickup driver unknown at this time. According to Iowa 511, northbound traffic is still being detoured between Lone Tree Road and County Road C60. After a large explosion at a grain elevator in Royal, Iowa recently, local farmers wondered where they would store their harvest this year. But now, about 3 weeks later, ag partners say their Royal grain elevator will be ready to receive grain this fall, moving up to 30,000 bushels per hour. But 330,000 bushels of storage that was damaged remains unusable. Ag Partners anticipates the facility to be fully functional by sometime next week. A House committee is meeting tonight to consider calls for removing Postmaster General Louis DeJoy from his post. This as he faces several allegations tonight, including actions the committee says could impact the mail-in voting process. KCAU 9's Washington correspondent Morgan Wright reports tonight.
We have a crony at the helm of our nation's postal service.
Virginia Congressman Jerry Connolly says he's concerned about the leadership of Postmaster General Louis DeJoy.
We know postal workers can handle the volume of that election mail. The question is whether those at the helm are taking steps to hinder that capacity.
New York Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney says allegations DeJoy reimbursed former employees for political contributions he urged them to make are a serious problem.
If true, these allegations are not only incredibly unethical, they are illegal.
Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin questioned why DeJoy was even appointed to the job in the first place.
How did this happen?
This was not a presidential appointment, so it didn't go through the Office of Government Ethics. I don't think there's any way the Office of Government Ethics would have signed off on an agency head who has large amounts of stock in a company that's contracting with the agency.
Republicans on the committee defended DeJoy and called the hearing a waste of time.
We're supposed to be having a postal update. Not a single one of the witnesses even worked for the USPS.
Georgia Congressman Jody Heiss called the hearing an attempt at political assassination.
This is, in my opinion, as close to a kangaroo court as anything I've seen.
Lawmakers say they plan to continue their investigation into DeJoy's qualifications to lead the agency. In Washington, Morgan Wright, KCAU 9 News.
The rapidly intensifying Hurricane Sally closing in tonight on the northern Gulf Coast region. What forecasters are saying about this storm, one of 5 currently churning in the Atlantic, coming up.
And here closer to home, it looks like sunny and warm weather this week with above normal temperatures. We might see a chance of rain later on. I'll have more details on that after the break.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and meteorologist Marcus Beasley. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
Thanks for sticking with us on your Monday, Marcus. What a beautiful day to be outside.
Yeah.
We warmed up. It really felt like summer again.
Yeah, complete opposite of last week. We had rain most days last week with really cool temperatures, but today we're not seeing anything like that. We're just seeing blue, sunny skies outside, and we are seeing those temperatures, or I should say feeling those temperatures in the lower 80s. The view outside from the KCAU 9 studio brought to you by the Port Neal Welding Company, showing that we are seeing those blue skies, but you might notice here that it is a little hazy out there on the horizon. And that is actually due to the wildfire smoke from the western United States, actually out here in parts of Siouxland. Really, in a lot of the United States, from the central part of the country to the west, we're seeing smoke. Notice out west, right there around San Francisco, up north towards Portland, where we're seeing those brighter white colors and those brighter green colors. That's where the fires are located. But notice how far east the smoke is spreading all the way to the Great Lakes and then south as well into parts of Arkansas. We are seeing a lot of smoke out there. It's at a higher level, so it really shouldn't affect too much of the air quality here at the surface, but you'll definitely notice when you look up, and I noticed yesterday the sun had that haze around it later on in the day when it was low on the horizon, so you will notice that outside, the haziness. The sky doesn't look as bright blue as it would typically look. Temperatures outside in the lower 80s, 81 in Sioux City, 82 in Lamar's. We're seeing 81 in Orange City right now, 85 in Wayne, 86 in Yankton, Cherokee at 80 degrees, currently 81 in Storm Lake. Then some cooler air moves in for Thursday, 75 degrees with a 30% chance of some showers, and that is about where we should be this time of year, mid to upper 70s. So we will see a little bit of a cool down, and then Friday 77, back up into the 80s this weekend. We are going to see those above average temperatures return. 83 degrees on Sunday, a 20% chance of a little bit of rain, and as we head into next week, low to mid 80s on Monday and Tuesday. Unfortunately, as far as the rainfall chances go, we will see that 30% chance Thursday and that 20% chance Sunday. But other than that, it's looking dry and it's looking hot for this time of year for the most part. So enjoy the nice weather, because it won't be before too long when we're really going to see those cooler days, and that snow eventually is going to show up here in Siouxland. But that's what I'm saying. You gotta enjoy this now, because
enjoy it while we can.
The cold will eventually get here.
All right. Thanks a lot, Marcus. Well, for almost 4 decades, a Texas man thought of his missing class ring, one that he bought with his own hard-earned money. Then he lost it, never expecting to see it again. How a stranger reconnected him with it, coming up. But first, forecasters predict Hurricane Sally will make landfall on Tuesday, hitting the northern Gulf Coast region with a slow and steady downpour as that storm moves through. How they're preparing, coming up next. Storm-weary Gulf Coast residents tonight are preparing for a new weather onslaught as Tropical Storm Sally was just upgraded to a hurricane. Forecasters from the National Hurricane Center say it is expected to reach the shoreline by early tomorrow. ABC's Elwin Lopez has more.
Slow-moving Hurricane Sally rapidly intensifying, threatening Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Sally is expected to slam the Gulf Coast as a Category 2 storm in less than 24 hours.
We're trying to drain the city as fast as we receive the rain. So we're just trying to do the best that we can to prepare our city for a lot of rainfall.
In Louisiana, coastal and low-lying areas bracing for up to 11 feet of storm surge. An added strain for communities still recovering from Hurricane Laura. And in Mississippi, families racing to get out of the storm's path.
If this one hits the coast at a Cat 2, I'm thinking we're going to have at least 6 to 7 foot of water where we standing at.
Officials worry the storm's slow pace could dump rain for days. The Atlantic now seeing a record number of storms. Hurricane Paulette encircling the entire island of Bermuda, and newly formed tropical storms Teddy and Vicky adding to the already busy hurricane season.
The city of New Orleans says they are prepared for what Sally might bring, but the big concern here is how much rain the city will be able to handle in a short amount of time. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, New Orleans.
Within the first year of owning his class ring, one sentimental man lost it. How he was finally reunited with it and all the memories thanks to a stranger. Coming up next. It's been 39 years since Jonathan Polano bought his high school class ring with money he earned himself. Then he lost it. Noelle Walker tells us how this ring was found and returned to Polano by a total stranger.
Jonathan grew up in New York, the last in a long line of Polanos, 23 of them, to graduate from East Rochester High School, class of '82.
I mean, it's been almost 39 years since I lost this ring.
A class ring bought with his own money.
I lost it actually within the first year of when I bought it.
Nearly 4 decades and 1,500 miles away in Warrensburg, New York.
I found a class ring with the inscription on the inside of it that said Jonathan Polano, I think is how you pronounce it.
This ring.
We have no idea how he came upon the ring.
Sabrina Adams found it in her father-in-law, Anthony Adams' belongings after he recently passed away.
Then I did some Facebook research.
So a couple of weeks ago, I got a message on my phone through Facebook Messenger.
Did you by chance know a man named Anthony Adams? And he goes, I do not know that name.
And the next day, I got a message from this same person saying that I think I found your class ring.
And that's when we started doing the back and forth of trying to figure out if it was his or not. And it surely was.
39 years of lost memories went into an envelope, and then...
I mean, I'm wearing it. I can only fit it on my pinky. I've gained a few pounds since high school.
An old memory with a new story.
I don't have a unique story of losing it, but I have a very unique story of getting it back now.
I hope he knows that I did it out of the kindness of my heart and not for any recognition.
This high school senior could not have known 2020 would be a year with so much lost.
It's just wonderful to have it back.
And one thing found.
Pretty neat. Taking a live look outside now. Marcus with another check on our forecast coming up next, so stay with us. Before we wrap up here at 5, let's check in first with Tim for what's coming up at 6. He's in the newsroom. Hi, Tim.
Hey, good Monday afternoon, Sophie. You know, in recent weeks, we've been reporting about new apartments, new condos being built. Well, it appears the price that people are paying for those also is going higher. We'll take a look at that at 6 today. City leaders say that it's time to take a closer look, studying what can be done to keep prices where they are at or possibly even lower them. Reporter Lydia Vasquez has been working that story throughout the day. She'll have the details at 6. One of the biggest challenges the grocery industry has seen during the pandemic, a shift from folks picking up items in person at a grocery store to picking out everything they like online, of course, and then getting it delivered or picked up. Well, the trend really started back in 2018. It is common practice now. A closer look at what that means for the grocery industry tonight at 6 as well. And the updated high school football polls are out. Jake takes a look at that in sports. And I know you were watching college football this weekend, Sophie. Did your favorite team win?
You know, my college didn't have a team, so...
That's why I asked.
I'll remain impartial. How about that? I'll pick one around here soon. Gotta watch more highlights. Thanks a lot, Tim. And a quick check on our weather overnight.
Yeah, it's looking like a quiet, comfortable night. Temperatures will be a little cool in the upper 50s, but not like last week where we were in the 40s. Tomorrow, another sunny, warm day in the 80s.
All right, thanks so much, Marcus, and thank you for joining us. I'll see you back here at 6. Until then, have a great night.